So, a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you can hear me. If somebody could put a one in the chat, that would be great. Very quick update. Bit of drama here this morning. The window just blew out on the bridge, so that's why it's so noisy. I'll have to stop if it gets too windy. But I just wanted to say a quick hello. It is day 3 of the sacrifice. What is the sacrifice for? For it's the freedom to not be scammed again. You see, PulseZen over the last couple of years has had its fair share of scammers and exploiters. These cabal of people operate in the same manner, and they have extracted millions of dollars from hardcore PulseZen fans. And this is very, very sad. So I'm here to point out that there is a protocol, Pulsen, which has 100% uptime. It's been running for about 3 years now on both Ethereum and PulseZen. And this is the protocol that you can swap your exploit coins into right now. We set aside a certain number of Pulsen so that you can swap into a real protocol and stop being scammed right now today. So day 3, look out for it. Use the contract address on any of your dexes and you can start swapping into Pulsen immediately. So, of course, in the other news, things are looking very bad for the world today because it would seem that Donald Trump is actually doing what he said he was going to do. How surprising is that? Certainly the stock market didn't believe that he was going to do it. And cryptocurrency is reacting in the same way. You can see it's all red. But why is this? Well, it's because Donald Trump said he was going to introduce tariffs around the world to stop the exploit of America. And so people listened, and the financial gurus didn't believe that this is going to happen. But it has happened in a very big way. But the interpretation of these tariffs is being manipulated by the people who don't want Donald Trump in power. Because the situation is really this. If you have a country that says, for example, that they have 25% tariffs on imports of cars from America, and we at the same time don't have tariffs on their products, in America, their products are much cheaper, and in their country, American products are much more expensive. So that means that people in that country will buy the domestic product and not America's product. So Donald Trump has been promoting this for a very long time now. This is extremely unfair. Why should you have to pay, or rather the importers in the other country have to pay the additional 25% tariff? And he's basically turned around and said, right, if you're taxing us, we're going to tax you. Quid pro quo. We are looking at a situation now where America is defending itself and saying, hey, this is not free trade. This is not a free market. You are taxing us out of existence. No wonder we're not getting many exports. No wonder our industrial production is down. It's because of this imbalance that needs to be addressed. And the way that governments do it, if they won't sit down and say, okay, we're going to drop our tariffs, which naturally they won't, you've got to bring them to the negotiating table. And the way you do that is you actually apply reciprocal tariffs. That means if you tax our goods 25%, we'll tax your goods 25%. However, the end game here is to bring those tariffs down. And the only way to get these people to negotiate around the negotiating table is to make it so that their economies are going to be damaged if they don't. Otherwise, they ain't never going to turn up. So the problem is the stock market's inflation initially is going to go ballistic, in that inflation is going to rise rapidly, prices are going to rise rapidly. You'll see that happening very, very shortly. And of course, that means that the cost of living goes up for everybody in America and in the countries that are trying to trade with America as well. So inflation is going to go up worldwide. Now, I did tell you at the beginning of the year that the American banks, the Federal Reserve, even though it's under the direction of Jerome Powell, he has to listen to the president. And what they are going to do is they are going to revive quantitative easing in America around about the 1st of June, if not earlier. With this, why is that important to you? Why should we even care? Well, what it means is there's going to be more and more money flowing back into the system. And that money has to find a good home, i.e. it has to find yield. Can you imagine if all the government departments, and in fact, all the populations of the world realize that Pulsen actually exists right now and they can pump money into it right now? You don't have to wait for the world economies to revive and wake up. I mean, seriously, we are not going to see positive results from these tariffs for maybe 1 to 5 years, which is exactly why the markets have reacted like they did this morning. So just bear those facts and figures in mind and try and understand that there are external factors that have caused this. And there's nothing wrong with the Pulsen protocol, unlike others. PDI, well, I won't even mention it. Just wait a minute. Sometimes life on a boat isn't that great. I had to give the chef a day off, so I don't have to give him a day off, but he's got a day off. It's his birthday today, so we're fending for ourselves. And we're in the middle of a mini hurricane. This shouldn't be happening at this time of year. Anyway, I think it's probably very hard to hear what I have to say. So I'm going to end this broadcast now. Just remind you the sacrifice is still on. It's day 3. You can swap your exploited coins into the greatest protocol that there is for yield on Ethereum and Pulse Chain right now. So go ahead, go and swap. Use the contract address on any DEX because PulseZen is not listed on many of them. You do need to import the contract address and also set the slippage to at least 4%. So I apologize for the really bad audio. You may not have even be able to hear anything I said. So I'll be back to you later on when we've repaired one of the windows here, and hopefully the wind might down. So wherever you are in the world right now, I'll just take a moment and say Slanjivar. Thanks for joining.